Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about will this Hulu's revival of Buffy the Vampire Slayer work because of how the series finale ended. So, I've been doing some thinking, and so yeah, they are gonna have Buffy, aka Sarah Michelle Gellar, back in this revival, and she's gonna mentor this new Slayer. Now, Sarah has put out a post on social media talking about how, she questioned how Buffy would, relate today and everything. And kind of surprised that, some people was kind of, still into it. But not only that, but she had some disagreements with the ideas going forward with the Hulu revival and everything. But ultimately, she, thinks, it could work and stuff like that. And so as I started to think initially, how would this work? I'm starting to think even more, how will this work? Because of how the series finale ended. So yeah, she's going to be a mentor. Now, I believe the Watchers Council has been obliterated, just completely annihilated, in the last season of Buffy. I think Giles is the only watcher left. But that's not even my concern. My concern is why and what is so special about this Slayer? Because technically there should be about thousands of millions of Slayers roaming the earth and taking out monsters. Because the thing about being a vampire slayer in the Buffy universe is every generation has one. So basically you'll have a slayer, and the Slayer gets activated after the old Slayer dies. And every single Slayer has died in battle, even Buffy, but Buffy has come alive a total of 2 times. The only Slayer who's never died in battle is that of Faith. Now, it's a little complicated and a little confusing. It's kind of like Avatar: The Last Airbender, kind of. So basically, you'll have a Slayer, and they tend to get activated around their late kid years to their early teen years where they train. Then, they become like the Slayer and stuff. So it's not like Avatar when a Slayer dies, a baby all of a sudden is born to like a couple, and out comes like a Slayer or Avatar or whatever. And so, the Slayer, they train, they fight, and a lot of them tend to die around their adult years and stuff because there are so many demons out in the world. And so then, the new Slayer gets activated normally around their teen years and stuff. And apparently, because like I said, it's a little confusing, there are Slayers in waiting. So somehow the Watchers Council knows who's going to be a Slayer. They find this girl and they start training them with their Watcher and stuff. So like with Buffy, when she died as a teenager, when she drowned, but then they resuscitated her, Kendra was activated, and Kendra was a teenager. Then Kendra died as a teenager, and Faith was activated, and Faith was a teenager. Then Buffy died as an adult and got resurrected through a spell, but no other Slayer was activated at that time because Faith was still around. And so and I believe it's like this Uber witch who is the one who creates Slayers and this and that, but then she died and Willow took over. And the thing about Slayers is that they train, but they don't have their strength, their speed, their agility until the other Slayer dies. So say like Faith, she's been training, Kendra's been training all these years, but her strength and everything didn't kick in until Buffy kicked the bucket. And so we learned in the last seasons that the bad guys are looking for every single Slayer in waiting. So they have about 20 girls or so, right? And so they start training them, but the powers hasn't kicked in. So Willow, who's now this uber witch person, she activated the Slayer gene in every Slayer in waiting. So this is now like teenagers, little girls, adults, and everything. And in the finale, it is supposed that there are hundreds, if not thousands, of Slayers. And so, with that said, so there should technically be like an army of Slayers patrolled all around the world, taking out monsters and demons and stuff. So, if that is true, who cares about this new Slayer? Like, who cares if she's really trained? Because you got all these other Slayers around that can get the job done. Plus, you still have Buffy, who's alive, who can get the job done. And so, because Buffy is the oldest living Slayer nest of faith and everything. And so, it makes me wonder, what exactly is going to happen to where this one Slayer needs training so badly that another Slayer couldn't give her the training, or, something like that. And plus, it's kind of like now there should be thousands, if not millions, because some of those Slayers are probably dead now, and other ones have activated and stuff. And so, like I said before, like, how come this show isn't about like a team of Slayers instead of just one? And why are they being trained by Buffy of all people? If the threat is so bad that this one Slayer has to do it, then why not just let Buffy do it? Not only that, but it probably, which would be smart, is to say that there are no more Slayers left in the world. Maybe they all got taken out. So then it'd be like, oh, okay, now it makes sense for this backup Slayer to start learning and training and stuff like that. But then the question is, what happened to Faith? And the question is, Buffy is still there and she hasn't died. And so why don't you just let Buffy take care of everything and stuff? So it's kind of just one of these things where it's just kind of like, this could work, but in the logic, like lore of everything, it kind of just doesn't. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's something they're gonna have to really figure out, because it has to make sense because of the lore of the show. They have to take that into accountability, and hopefully they will, because if they don't, then this is never gonna succeed. And then the question is going to be, well, will we see older characters show up, like the Scooby Gang and everything? Will Sarah Michelle Gellar and Allison Hannigan, whatever it is, will they be able to get along on set? Because technically they don't get along. Is Dawn gonna be there? And then does she still have any residual powers of the key? You know what I'm saying? How come Giles isn't training nobody? And not only that, but if you have an army of Slayers after the series finale, how are there even still demons left in the world? Like, you think they would have eradicated them all by now. So, in all honesty, this should have just been a reboot. This just should have been a reboot, or set many, many, many years far into the future, so it wouldn't have that close of a timeline to the finale and everything. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.